Welcome to Level M Diecast, everybody. Pink Slips batch number 2. This is the final mix. This is our first mix that we saw just a couple months ago, about 2.5, maybe 3 months ago. First set of 6. We're going to take a look at the second set of 6. There's only 12 cars in the mix. Of course, we started out with the Jeep, the G500, the Hellcat, the R8 Spider, the Huracan, and then, of course, the GT3 RS there at the top. We are going to move into the second batch. Of course, these are Jada, but they are Majorette castings, so they kind of share the load. There is your Majorette logo, Jada Toys, and then there is your Jada logo. There is the entire mix. This will be the whole mix to complete the 12 cars on the back, released in 2 separate batches. Deets on the bottom should you need the deets. Sometimes people want the deets. Land Rover Defender 90. The first time we're getting this particular casting in the U.S. In anything related to Majorette. Although there's been a few versions released of this casting, overseas and stuff like that. But as far as the U.S. market, first time that we are getting this particular one. They do come with these pointless boxes. Talked about this before. Just kind of pushes up the price, in my opinion. Although the model does fit in the box, I still think it's a little bit ridiculous, but it's there. There is our Defender 90. This is in a blue. It might look a teeny bit purple, but I assure you it's very, very deep blue. These all do have rubber tires on there, so Roll Rider tires. Some bronze hubs for this one. Looks pretty good. This guy does have opening doors. I especially like this model because it does have the door frame around it, which is pretty rare. It's pretty rare to see that in a model, but they put that in there. Looks fantastic. Looks pretty good. White painted top on this one. It is a kind of a satin finish for the white. Looks good there too. Print on the top does say Defender, which looks pretty good. Lens headlights, of course. There is your Land Rover symbol right there in the grill area. Looks good. The window is very heavily tinted, so the headlights look pretty dark. Full deets on the back does say Land Rover. There's an integrated tow hitch. This one's pretty good. Again, just opening doors. They are extremely stiff. Makes it a little bit more difficult to open the door with the with that little surround area there, but I assure you the other door does open. There is the base deets for this one. Of course, made in Thailand. It does have suspension, although not a whole lot of movement on this particular model. And then just the spare tire is plastic. So getting another SUV. All right, next one up. This one is the Porsche Turbo S. We did see this one in the Porsche edition, the premium Porsche edition. So I'm pretty sure there is zero difference. We do have that Porsche edition one here to do a little bit of comparo. So we'll get the packaging out of there. Again, just a little box. Does have 2 opening features on this particular model. It is in the box displayed with the hood open, or the front piece open. You can see there's a bit of imperfections in the paint. That is not, well, I guess maybe that's supposed to be silver sparkle. Yeah, I guess it's supposed to be in there. It looks terrible. It looks not good at all. But there is some silver sparkle in there. Again, rubber tires, silver, kind of a grayish silver wheel. A little bit of suspension work. Like I said, the top or the frunk opens up. It has a little bit of space in there. Lensed headlights, and then of course the doors open as well. A little bit of detail on the interior. The door panels, not a whole lot, but there is some there. The interior is pretty good. Majorette is pretty good with detailing their interiors up. So they do look pretty fancy. So we'll close that guy up. Full print on the back does say Porsche. This looks pretty good. It says Taken Turbo S underneath there. Really small print. I don't know if we can get that to focus or not. Sort of, kind of. So this one above on the top is the one that came in the Porsche edition. So you see that one is just regular red wine colored. Doesn't have the ridiculous looking silver speckles in the paint. So significantly different for sure. Additionally, you can see this is your pink edition on the left. That one has a clear window versus the tan window or super tinted window, I should say, for the Porsche Edition one. So big differences there. The rear prints are going to be the same though between the two. So definitely like the original Porsche Edition more than this one. I don't like those silver speckles. It looks absolutely terrible. It's really not good. Not good at all. So we'll throw that guy up there. All right, Jaguar FType R. This casting was released quite a few different times when Majorette attempted to sell at Toys R Us before Toys R Us went belly up. So this one hasn't been available for quite a little bit in the U.S. market, but this casting's been around for quite some time, like 10 years, I think. So still readily available. They still rocking it, still using it. Of course, this is the first time we're seeing it with these Real Rider 5 spokes, which look good. It's a really, really dark gray. It's not like a gunmetal or nothing. It's just dark gray. Looks good. I think it looks good. The stance is really nice. They sit really flush in the wheel wells, so I do like that. Does have suspension, of course, just like the rest of them do. This one is just in British Racing Green. Yes, it's always going to be called British Racing Green. Lensed headlights, a little bit of print on the front. Got your Jaguar symbol up there as well. A little bit of print on the side for the little vent. And then the tail lights look good. Prints look good. It says F-Type on the back. Hook assembly model. This guy has opening doors, which open pretty good. Some pretty decent detail for the door panels on the inside there. Not too shabby. So that one looks pretty good. And then a little Jaguar symbol on the top where the hatch is. So this one's kind of interesting. Not really pink slipish. You see the first set was relatively flashy. This second set is a lot more tame. A lot more tame. All right, Bugatti Chiron Pure Sport. We just recently got this in the deluxe, which you can get at Walmart or Target. But this is a brand spanking new version with the 5-spoke, the one that we got in the deluxe edition here in the U.S. does not have the 5-spoke Roll Rider. It's got a different Roll Rider. So first time we're seeing this one with the 5-spoke. This guy has 2 opening features. So throw that there. There is the front trunk spot. We're just going to leave that there. We're going to show it to you since it's already open. There's absolutely nothing underneath there. It's actually really pointless to have it open at all. But you can't open the back on the Bugatti. So the back is not opening at all for anybody who even buys one. You have to take it to a dealership. So it's probably why Majorette decided to do that. It's a really small opening feature, but it is what it is. This is a pretty decent casting. It's not perfect, but it's a pretty good casting. This is much, much lighter. This is like grayish silver for the 5-spokes. A little bit of suspension in there too. They looks kind of big, makes the car look a little bit off-roady. Don't really like that look to it. Print on the back look pretty good. Wing's pretty good. Wing is plastic. You have your Bugatti symbol right there in the center. Does say Bugatti on the top, which looks good. Top of the wing. You can see the engine down in there. That's just black. It's part of the interior. Nothing fancy with that. This guy does have dual opening doors, which looks pretty good. Not very much detail on the door panels, but looks pretty good. The doors open a decent amount. So kind of an interesting color choice for this one. Kind of a turquoise color a little bit. It does have your 16 logo there in the grille with the Bugatti. It's a pretty good casting. It's a little bit big, but it's a pretty good casting. This particular one is 1/65th scale, so it's actually pretty darn close to a 1/64 scale. So we'll throw that guy up there. It's nice and wide too, so that's pretty good. All right, Mercedes AMG GT. This is also one that we got when they were selling at Toys R Us. So again, haven't seen this casting here in the US for a little while, but not new to us. So crack this open. Get the packaging out of there. Plastic, plastic, plastic. There is your box. I do like this casting. Their AMG GT3 is a much, much better casting, but mainly just has the wing in the back. This one looks pretty good in orange. It does have a black chrome look to the 5-spokes with a little bit of a polished lip. It's not consistent It's very inconsistent. It's not a fully polished lip all the way around, which is kind of weird. And then, the hub is black, which is kind of here and there. I like it, but it looks almost like maybe they painted them black at some point in time, and then it's kind of rubbing off as they drive and stuff like that, like the paint's coming off. Kind of looks cheap. This casting is definitely not cheap, though. This is a pretty good casting. A little bit of metallic sparkle in there. Looks pretty good. You can see a little bit of marks for a light bar. So they do use this casting for a police car as well. Lens headlights look good on this one. Front end looks good. Prints are fantastic. Mercedes logo looks fantastic. Taillight prints are pretty good. Not as good as the front, but they're pretty good. Does say AMG GT on the back. Looks pretty fancy. This guy has opening doors. They are relatively large doors. A little bit of a little bit of detail for the interior door panels. Looks pretty decent. Not perfect, but decent. And then there's the interior. Of course, you'd never be able to get underneath that steering wheel, but it is what it is. Of course, this guy does have suspension just like the rest. So throw that guy up there. All right, last one in the mix. Yes, after all those cars, they did not leave out the Japanese cars. The one and only. Now, I do believe this is either a new casting for the GTR or this is a modified casting for the GTR. Because previously the GTR did not have an opening hood, which this one does have an opening hood. So it may be updated or it may be a new casting. Majorette has updated stuff like that before, so it's not the end of the world if that is the case. See, this one does have opening doors. One of the reasons I do question that is because this is the most recent one we got from the Deluxe series. It does have the opening doors and stuff like that, but does not have an opening hood. So there is the deets on the bottom of this one. Doesn't really have a copyright date, so we probably won't be able to tell, but figured I would just show that off just in case. So there is our GTR in silver. Really like silver. Silver is a fantastic color. This is a left-hand drive GTR. Of course, it does have two moving features, opening doors and the opening hood. They don't close all that well on this one. See, there's a little bit of casting flaw in there. It's just part of the molding for the door. It is what it is. Again, Roll Riders, suspension. I do like that wheel. Looks pretty good in black. That is a metal spoiler. It is part of the casting itself, which looks pretty good. The prints on the back look pretty good as well. Just says GTR on the one side. Nothing else fancy there. It's a pretty good casting. Lensed headlights. Those headlights are added on though, so which is kind of interesting. So that must be part of the update to this casting. There is the details underneath the hood. Very, very difficult to see underneath there, but it is there. Looks okay. Definitely a little bit more detail than we normally get from GTRs or from Majorette opening hoods, but that's as far as it opens. It does not open any further than that. That's it. So, and it doesn't close perfectly flat. It closes okay, but not perfect. And then, of course, it does have opening doors, which is super, super stiff. So that's as far as the doors open as well. So that is definitely unfortunate. There is a lot of detail on the inside of the door panels though, and the doors are very thick. Very, very thick. There is the interior a little bit, kind of hard to see, but it is there. So there is the deets on the bottom. Looks like maybe just a modification of the casting. I don't necessarily think this is a brand new casting. They just modified it to include new parts and stuff like that to make it opening features. So there you go. That is the full Jada, Majorette, however you want to pronounce it. Pink Slips set of 12. Not too bad. Not too bad. I'm happy that we get some more Majorette castings here. I don't think this was the greatest idea, but it's something. It's something. I mean, this seems to be a little bit more geared towards the U.S. market, but is not exclusive to the U.S. But a little bit flashier on the front set, a little bit more restrained on the second set. Kind of an interesting mix. I kind of feel like the first set was super flashy. You know, maybe somebody with a little bit of money just kind of trying to flaunt it. And then the second set was people with money that just being a little bit more subtle, I guess. I don't know. But there you go. That is the whole set of 12. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think about those. Let me know what you think about this kind of roundabout way of getting Majorette in the U.S. I know it's not exactly what we want. We want actual Majorette here, but I guess we're just going to have to take what we can get. Although, as a Majorette collector, we're definitely sick and tired of having to say that too. So, drop a comment. Let me know. Very interested. Otherwise, appreciate you guys. Thank you for joining. We're to catch you next time. Level M. Peace.